like that, bro. Bad business deals, right? Creatives, man, it's probably gonna happen to you 9 times out of 10.
Yeah,
How do
yeah.
we try to navigate during this time where everybody's a quote unquote business coach or everybody's expert? How do we avoid those pitfalls of being scammed and played and signing to bad business deals sometimes?
That's what's up, man. First, research your own research. YouTube University, straight up. Like, they have all kinds of people all over the world giving their 2 cents on the music industry, business industry, e-commerce and stuff. And eventually you'll find somebody that you like. And hopefully, if they're really providing that value, they'll reference some good literature,
Right.
some other good channels,
Yeah.
even some people to recommend, agencies. Just tap in, and tap in with people that have your best interests at heart. We're in the content game, we're one person away from, meeting somebody who we really are purposed to meet.
Yeah.
We're just one person away, literally. So they say on average, we're 6 people away from, knowing someone major.
6
but
degrees of separation.
you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, for us, it's like a DM away. You know what I'm saying? So use your resources, use Instagram, where instead of being a victim of the platform, you can use the platform and wield it. You know what I mean?
Good people, what's up, what's good, man? I'm blessed to be your host, Caleb Smith. Tonight we have a very special guest in the building. This guy, he's been killing it on Instagram. Anytime you hear that's Hunter, you already know what type of time it is, man. Most of our reels, bro, I'll probably say like 95% of them, Sid, she can firmly attest to this, is your content, your music, bro. And you are doing phenomenal things, changing the game as a businessman, a creative music producer, a believer in Christ, man. So many different facets, a father, husband, so much. Yaahn Hunter is in the building, y'all. How you feeling, brother?
Hey, man, I'm feeling great, bro.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for having me, man. Real talk.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you,
sure.
man. Hearing your story, reading about you, researching, just knowing that you've had to go through so much of trials, tribulations, people telling you, go get a real job.
Yeah, man.
How does that feel now, bro, from seeing hundreds of thousands, millions of streams? You got people like Masego. I love Masego, bro. Went to like one of his first concerts, bro, when he came here.
That's crazy,
But
bro.
man, seeing you just affiliated with that.
Yeah, yeah.
How does that feel of starting off with go get a real job to now you can't scroll on Instagram without hearing one of the chill vibes?
Man, I think for me, it's just really humbling, honestly. It's a humbling experience just because I remember and never will forget where I come from, man, from the Bay Area of California, man. And we come from a area of phenomenal musicians and artists and stuff and great history, man. So just keeping that same vibe and keeping that same energy, as the youngers will say, like, it's just humbling, man, like, to come from that to now be here at ATL, bro. Like, it's just a blessing. So,
Right.
For real, for real.
Yes, sir. Going way back to the whole Genesis, the start, being in the church, bro. Like, when did you know, yo, I love music?
Man, since probably like 3 years old, 4 years old. I never forget, I was watching my man, shout out to my boy Colin McCullough. He's out here at ATL too. And he was playing drums at my dad's church at the time. And so I remember watching him, and after service, I got the sticks and started banging on the drums, man. And it was just history after that. Yeah.
That's dope, man. Starting off young, making music, becoming a man, bro. Has it been hard of just like staying consistent, of starting at age 3 to now being a grown man and still doing music?
I think from a standpoint of the love of the craft, like, nah, it's not hard to stay consistent.
Yeah.
But I think purpose is a little bit different. What's the purpose behind it, and kind of losing, energy in that way, kind of losing hope sometimes. I mean, as creatives, we just have our days where it's just like we're not really feeling it. So, but just the love of the craft, man, like, I can't stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's dope, man. As a teenager, man, child prodigy, bro, how did you handle videos going viral and getting all of that attention?
Yeah, I mean, back then, Back in the teens, man, like doing gospel chops, it was on a website hosted by Gerald Forrest, gospelchops.com. And so he was like the future, man. Like he was just way ahead of his time, like having that platform. So he had all the stats and the numbers and the comments. I couldn't see any of that stuff. The website just had just the video.
Wow.
So he told me, he was like, yo, bro, your video got like 200,000 views. And I was like, what does that even mean?
Facts.
I'm like 13, 14 years old, you know what I'm saying, in 2005. So I was just like, what does that mean? Like, what does viral mean? And so he was saying, nah, people in New Zealand, people in Russia, like overseas, like people are watching your video of you doing the triple backbeat. So that's when I kind of was like, oh, okay, so this is like, this is crazy. So by the time I got on the internet and made my own YouTube channel, like in 2010, the comments was just crazy. And they were like, yo, I remember you from Gospel Chops and stuff.
Wow.
So that's when I felt it. I was like, oh, my man's wasn't playing. Like, he got a lot of views way back then. So, yeah.
Hey, they tapped in. Bro, your YouTube, I love it. Inspirational, great content, great messaging. 5 months ago, posted something, right? Talking about in 2020, bro, you felt down. No inspiration, no vibe, basically. How did you fight through just going through that dark time of not knowing? What was that like?
Yeah, man, it was a crazy transition coming from doing a lot of gospel, you know, styles type stuff, and that ended up becoming like I ended up branding that unintentionally.
Wow.
I was just having fun as a kid, you know what I mean? And so I had no idea that people would associate me as like that guy, you know, for like shout videos and stuff. So it was like that real transparent season of like, okay, it's time to pivot. It's time to rebrand and, you know, really get serious about content. And I had just resigned at the last church I was playing at.
Wow.
So I was just like, all right, we're out of that scene in terms of like playing. I still go to church, but in terms of being on the keys and stuff, I had just retired. So I'm like, all right, God, what's next? And so I'll never forget my wife, shout out to my wife, Tiffany. She was like, yeah, you know, because she has her own YouTube channel as well. And so she was saying, yeah, you know, you can monetize your channel.
Thanks.
And I was like, wait, who? What, where? And she was like, you know, yeah, you only need 1,000 subscribers. And at the time I had 7,000. So I was like, what are we
in there?
what are we doing? So I kind of like found my way from that. And that's when, you know, God just like, the Holy Spirit just led me to like, yo, get a camera and like, let's do this for real.
Right.
So I got on YouTube and I was just focused on business and branding and stuff like that. And I really wasn't focusing on like my personal music at that time. So yeah, so it was kind of rough because it's like, okay, I'm building this brand and everything is, you know, working, you know, products, packs and stuff like that. So I'm like, but the music is suffering though. Like I haven't, at the time I didn't release a full album since 2018.
Wow.
So it had been a good, you know, 2 to 4 years since I had dropped anything. So, you know, being a help desk, helping people on YouTube and stuff like that, like it was fire and it still is fire, but like that creative side of me suffered. So what pulled me out, man, was I slowly but surely started getting back into posting my music again. And instead of doing covers, I just started like posting, you know, a little vibe here, a little vibe there. And they kind of did all right. I was kind of doing more drum content at that time. I just got signed by Sonar, shout out to them.
Wow.
So I was doing more drum stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just got to a spot where I was just like, I don't care anymore. I'm gonna just do me. Like real talk. Like I don't want to worry about pleasing anybody or a certain audience, or is the drum community gonna be cool with it? Is the gospel community gonna be cool with it? I just got to a space where I was just like, you know, I'm gonna make the music that I've been dying to make. And so that inspired me to flip the Earth, Wind and Fire joint that went viral. So when that joint went viral, I was like, it's time to go. Like, like it's showtime now. So, yeah.
I love that, man. So being a creative, right now we have so many dope creatives, especially here in Atlanta, right? How do we stop caring and say, I'm going to do what I know I should do?
You know, it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of perseverance, because it's not going to be the fastest way sometimes. Sometimes it's going to be a slow, gritty grind. But along the way, you see growth here, opportunity here, podcast here, you know what I'm saying, just moving in. And so it requires faith. It requires a faith, that step of like, I don't know what's on the other side, but I'm about to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Facts.
So.
Bro, being in the church, resigning, what led to that decision overall? And two, how did you feel? Like, yo, I'm really leaving. What was that like?
Yeah, so like the confirmation for me was, believe it or not, God told me, it was like, your time is coming up. And I was like, nah, that's the devil talking. Can't be. That ain't God.
Yeah.
He's like, I told you, I'm telling you, your time is coming up. And so I had experienced something back in the Bay, and it was just a slap in the face. Like, I tried to tell you, it's time to go. So I sent in my resignation and stuff. And so I was like, wow, all right. So since resigning, like, it makes perfect sense why he called me out to actually do the footwork outside of the four walls and make an impact globally, instead of just, in the four walls, you know what I mean? And kind of, preaching to the choir kind of vibe, but like actually impacting people all over the world, different nationalities, beliefs, races, everything. So that part of it is like, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, for sure.
I like that, bro. Bad business deals, right? Creatives, man, it's probably gonna happen to you 9 times out of 10. How do we try to navigate during this time where everybody's a quote unquote business coach, or everybody's expert? How do we avoid those pitfalls of being scammed and played and signing to bad business deals sometimes?
That's what's up, man. First, research your own research. YouTube University, straight up. Like, they have all kinds of people all over the world giving their 2 cents on the music industry, business industry, e-commerce and stuff. And eventually you'll find somebody that you like. And hopefully, if they're really providing that value, they'll reference some good literature, some other good channels, some even some people to recommend, agencies. Just tap in, and tap in with people that have your best interests at heart. We're in the content game, we're one person away from, meeting somebody who we really are purposed to meet. We're just one person away, literally. So they say on average, we're 6 people away from, knowing someone major.
6 degrees of separation.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, for us, it's like a DM away. You know what I'm saying? So use your resources, use Instagram, where instead of being a victim of the platform, you can use the platform and wield it. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. How do you feel about the whole music producer space? Do you feel like it's somewhat oversaturated, or do you think it's like in a good space right now?
I think music is in the best space it could ever be in. A lot of people would argue with me about that, but we have so much freedom to express ourselves.
That's for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to sign to a big label to be heard. Just simply be heard. It's one thing to, if you want to scale at a certain, if you want 1 million, billion streams and stuff, you could do it independent, but of course a label still has its vanity metrics, and also has the plugs and connections. But I think that we're in the best space ever. Like, it's so many of phenomenal friends that's on social media that's just posting vibe after vibe, just killing it, showing up, and just inspiring us all, and it's affecting the world like in a positive way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So do you feel like a label is needed now, or is it really obsolete almost during this time period?
It's both and. It's both and. I think they're somewhat needed, because if you want the plaques and you want the billboards and you want the Grammys and stuff, you got to affiliate with somebody who's tapped in. Like somebody, A&R, or, a manager or something like that. You're going to be involved with some sort of version or resource of a label at that point. But if you don't really care about awards and plaques and stuff, and you're just doing you, then for sure it's obsolete, because you can make music whenever you want, however you want, post it whenever you want. You know what I mean? So so I think it's both and.
Okay. When was that aha moment of, I found my sound now?
Honestly, I think I really found my sound really in 2020. I think that's when because I start taking the shackles off myself, like mentally, spiritually, and even physically, like getting in the gym and getting consistent. You know, we had, still working, getting the 20 pounds off, you know,
Hey, it's coming.
you know what I'm saying? So, but straight up, like just having that cleansing experience. And that's when I was like, yo, I think I really actually hear my sound. And so it takes time to develop.
Yeah.
But I would definitely say like 2020, some people would argue, say maybe I found it sooner. I've produced for some people in the industry long before 2020.
Yeah.
But I feel like I came to like a strong sound and a stance like in the industry and community, like definitely 2020.
Facts. Is it like somewhat crazy, if you're scrolling on Instagram and TikTok and like, yo, I produced that. How does that feel sometimes?
Man, it still trips me out. It really does. Like, it genuinely trips me out where I'm like, yo, like people are using my music. They don't even know who I am. Like, they're using the sound because the algorithm is telling them it's a trending sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's really amazing. And it's a blessing. It really is a blessing.
For sure. On your channel, your page, bro, you just give back so much game. You don't have to. Like, easily you can say, I'm going to just hoard all of this great information to myself. I'm going to stun on y'all. Y'all don't know this. Stay over there. Why share all of this free game right now? Why that?
I mean, why not? Why not? Shout out to Sides. She's killing it right now in the producer community. And I've watched her on TikTok literally just drop gems 3-4 times a day on TikTok, just showing people the secrets of Logic Pro and all these, recording secrets and stuff. And so I was already teaching on YouTube. So that immediately was inspiration for me. Like, yo, like, this is a community that believes that information like this should be free. It's just information. However, if you want my experience and you want to have a personal experience with me, that's something we can monetize for sure.
Yeah.
But just the information, I mean, why not? I think that it took a lot of undoing, I think, in our community sometimes. Like you said, we do hoard. And I think that just comes from a genuine place of fear that someone might take our sound and become recognized for a gem that you shared, or a sound that you used, and someone else makes it popular. But shout out to my boy John Mike. He was like, man, people can, you can show them your hand, but they'll never have your fingerprint.
That's a bar.
So shout out to my boy John Mike. He dropped that one on me. So
I like that, man. How can other producers, whether it's here in Atlanta, anywhere, start connecting more effectively, right, during this time as well?
Again, DMs. It goes down in the DMs. It really does, especially on IG. That's where all the industry heads are at. And just a DM away. I mean, literally, like today, yesterday, I was talking to my brand manager. We were trying to get some stuff together. And I just get a DM from Genius.
Wow.
And they were just
that's
like,
hard.
they were just like, yo, we want to repost your content. Like, is that cool? Do we have your permission? I'm like, heck yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they literally just dropped the joint today. They reposted one of my videos featuring, thank you, man.
Yeah.
So it's featuring a phenomenal rapper and everything. He basically remixed one of my beats, just rapped on one of my beats, and they reposted it. So, I mean, that's where it's at. IG. Get on IG and start networking and have a good catalog of stuff that you've done on your IG. Post your beats. You know what I mean? Like, I know we're afraid of people stealing our stuff, but I'm telling you, like, if you just post your sound and your vibe and people can see you doing what you do, like, they'll start reaching out.
Come on. Post our sound, our vibe. So for all the people, that's tapped in right now, they could say, well, Yaahn, I don't get thousands of views and I don't get all the comments. And each time I post is one comment and it's a spam page. So why should I keep posting if I'm not seeing any effects from that right now?
Yeah, I think it's just getting it's about optimizing your profile for, it's just optimizing your profile for the platform. And I think it may be first off, like, how is the content looking? How is it presented?
Right.
Is it stop scrollable content. You know what I mean? Like how creative can you be around your music? Like you don't necessarily have to post just a beat. You can create stories around your music and find ways to really be creative and use your phone.
Yeah.
It's a cat named Beautiful Beats. He's killing it on IG, TikTok, YouTube. And he does skits around his beats.
Oh, wow.
So he'll come in as the engineer, then he'll play the artist, then he'll play the producer, change outfits out, and he'll skit everything. And so when he chops it all up and puts it together, it looks like a legit conversation of like the producer, engineer, and the artist like complaining about something, or somebody literally just bombed the session, and and it'll feature his beats at the end, which is the main thing. You get to hear his sound. So I mean, there's so many ways to get creative with your content just to be heard.
I love that, man. Bro, when you first pulled up, you had the camera, you was already locked and loaded, bro. I love seeing that. Why vlog? Why again talk about being vulnerable? Why is that so important right now?
Yeah, I think it's about time that I start to open up a little bit and start really showing people who's the man behind the vibe. And really, that's like, I feel like it's the missing link with my YouTube channel. So I started a vlog series, and it's doing pretty well. Like people, they like it. They like to see like, yo, you're a human. Like you live, breathe, and you eat at Chipotle, and you know what I mean? Like I eat there too. That's what's up. And so it's like just making that connection, and that's where you go beyond just being an influencer. Like people feel like you're really a part of their lives, like a legit person to guide them, and they feel like super approachable. So some of the emails I get, people, they just email me like they've been knowing me for 20 years.
That's dope, man.
So it's a blessing to just be able to have that impression on people.
Yeah, bro. That's dope. How do you balance being a father, being a husband, musician, creative, and just life? How you do that?
Yeah, still working on that.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't know if there's ever a there.
Yeah.
But I think that we do the best we can. My wife and I, we sat down and we just communicate like our goals and where we want to go. I always communicate with my wife my dreams, updates, where I'm going with the channel, how that's going to affect us financially, what it requires, and vice versa for her. She lets me know what she needs around the house, if I need to step up, if I need to stay back, if she needs to run errands and I need to watch baby girl, we just make arrangements, and you just communicate. It's not perfect. Yeah. But, communication is really, they made it cliche. Communicate. Like, no, if you really do communicate and communicate to understand, you'll find that balance is natural. Yeah. So it's like, okay, if I say to my baby girl, all right, daddy's cooking dinner, I know I got to be out of that studio by at a bare minimum 5:30 p.m. Yeah, daddy's cooking. I'm coming upstairs. We about to get it in. So yeah, for sure,
bro. Much respect to that, man. Balancing being a dad, burnout too, bro. As a creative, how do we try to? I don't want to say avoid burnout because it's somewhat inevitable, right?
Yeah, for sure.
How do we navigate through burnout sometimes?
Reset, recharge, stop everything. Like I have moments where I won't even go in the studio for the day, 2 days, so the weekends are like really my recharge days. I might catch the itch every here, try to get down there and tinker. Yeah. I feel you. But like the weekends is like, all right, man, like this is your dedicated time for family. You ain't got to worry about algorithm. You ain't got to worry about none of that stuff. So that's on the week to week. That helps from burnout. Like if you have like a dedicated day. Also, my morning time is like really the most peaceful time because I'm up at like 6 a.m.
Oh, yeah, it's quiet.
It's quiet. Nobody's on the road. It's dark. Yeah. I'm clearer in the gym. And that literally just sets the tone for everything. Yep. And this cat, Omari from Think Media, he was saying like, look.
Oh, he's dope. Yeah. Yeah, I already know you're talking about. Yeah.
He dropped the gym. He was basically, in short, he was just saying like, yo, when you start off like that, you're ready to dominate the day instead of the day dominate you. You're not in a reactive state the whole day. You're in an offensive state the entire day.
Facts.
By getting up early, whatever you do in the morning, whether you work out, gym, however you do it, you know, like you have your time to get your mind right. So when the day actually starts around whatever time, 7, 8 o'clock, you go to work, it's like you're ready to dominate. And as content creators and creatives in general, like that makes a massive difference in the mental health state.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, just a good old vacation.
Yes, sir.
Just get out of Dodge.
Yeah, hey, that's his type of time. That's what she be on, vacation. So I get it, bro.
Get out of Dodge.
Yes, sir. I love that, man.
Sure.
Escape. Dominate the day. I love that, bro. Discipline, too. That's what it takes, man. Waking
listen.
up, bro. Talk to me about that, man.
It's hard. It's hard. Like that alarm be going off at 6. I'm like, no, it ain't. It's, nah, bro.
Not already.
It can't be. That last hour that we just lost, bro.
It's crucial. I know. It's crucial.
Bro.
Especially like on the very first day of it.
Oh,
yeah.
It took me a minute to get back, bro. I was like, it's 5, bro. It's not 6, it's 5.
I know.
And so for me, you know, I'm officially like settled in like on the East Coast time. I'm 3 hours behind, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's like a 4-hour
That's tough.
situation, man. So you know, that just comes with time. And I got a goal that I want to meet. My brother-in-law, his wedding is coming up soon. So I already know, like, you know, by the time, you know, the wedding is there, I'm going to be on where I need to be.
Yeah, I got it. Y'all with the games, y'all. Get ready for it. It's coming.
Yeah.
I love that, man. Grinding, right? How does it feel of knowing that I started in the Bay Area? I'm here in Atlanta, but do you feel like somewhat settled, or are you like in the space of I got a lot more that I could be doing right now too?
Definitely the latter is so much more, man. Like, I mean, we just getting warmed up. Like, only been out here less than a year. I mean, just right under a year.
Wow.
We moved out here in May of 2022. You know what I'm saying? So we're just a month shy of it being a year. And so, you know, we're just getting our feet wet. And, you know, the wife's had opportunities. She's been on podcasts as well, being out here. So I think we're just scratching the surface, honestly. Like, you know, once, you know, the world finds out that, you know, I'm out here. Definitely more opportunities. I plan to get out the house a lot more, you know, so.
Yeah. I love that. Why Atlanta, though, out of all the cities?
Man, it was like a why not? It was like, bro, like, how could you not be out here? You're an entrepreneur. You're a creative. You know, not to make a big deal, but you're black. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, straight up, you know, like you're in a community of like-minded people.
Right.
Look like you, talk like you, sound like you, work like you do, work ethic, or work twice as hard. And I could glean and learn from, you know, the culture out here and, you know, connecting with a few mega celebrities and stuff, you know, via Instagram and just being in the same state. It's like I could feel that push and that drive to like, yo, we gotta step it up. We gotta maintain this black excellence. We have to not be fake, but just be genuine.
Come on.
You know what I mean? So like that's one thing that I carry from the Bay is the Bay Area is not like high key like LA or anything like that. It's like gritty. You know, I'm grown up a majority of my life in Richmond, California, man. So
man, from the Bay for real.
So it's like it's real gritty, man. Like just that grit and being around like people that are like 10 toes down and you know what they believe in their personality. So just having that foundation, being here is just like people are like, yo, you cool. I'm like, you gotta come to the Bay and see what the energy is like over there.
For
you
sure.
know what I mean? So
Sure. Bro, speaking of the Bay, man, legendary place. You got people like E40, Too Short, Mac Dre. Like the list, it just keeps going on and on and on, bro. Master P, he even had to pull up, you know, hey, get some game. Y'all are just known for popping the trunk, being entrepreneurs, making it happen, and doing it independent too. Did just seeing things like that on an everyday basis. Black Panther Party too, bro. Oakland, the Bay, everything just keeps going on and on and on. So how did that just influence you now?
Man, I think it's the bedrock. Like, you know, it's the bedrock of our chill vibe, and you know, kind of we we look and see what's going on. You know what I mean? You got to. You want to stay alive.
Facts. Yeah.
Like you're just watching though. Like you're watching from a safety standpoint, and you're also watching from like watching how people move and learning, and and speak when speak up when you need to speak up. And like I got a couple of homies back home that are like, yo, like mess with my man's, like we could roll, like for real,
Yeah.
And I think that being in that type of culture, especially like in the church scene, like it's just really like gritty in a good way. Like our sound is gritty. Like we just like, you got Tower Power and all that stuff, and all these funk earlier artists and stuff that's coming up in that, that and the Hawkins, gotta mention the Hawkins, being, Oakland and stuff like that. So it was just a gritty vibe in a good, such a good way, like the best grit. And so I think like I still hold that even in my vibes, even in my chill vibes, it still has a gritty backbeat, little, hip hop vibes and influences from kind of from everywhere. But I think that Oakland is kind of more so turned like you got Facebook out there, San Francisco, Apple over there, Daly City, Silicon Valley, and all of that. So like if you go now, you kind of feel more of the corporate vibes now. They're building way more stuff out there and building stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks, and it's like you could barely see the sky.
Dang, that's crazy.
Like they're just literally going in. Like I was just out there in December of 2022. And so just being back, I'm like, yo, it's just like corporate vibes now. Just straight corporates, like, and all of like the hood areas and stuff, they're all newly developed, new apartments, new everything.
For real.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So it's like, it's a different vibe. You can feel that nice, khakis and Skechers and all of that vibe now. It's a little different now, but, the Oakland that, my dad used to know and I know, it's still in us for sure.
Yeah, facts, bro. Yo, I got one favor though.
Yeah.
I need to see you and Larry June, man.
Ah, man, Larry June is killing it right now.
Good job, Larry. Yeah, he killing it, bro. He killing it.
Yeah, he
is. I would love to see y'all work together, man.
One of us got to send a DM.
Hey, look, one DM away. Hey, I'm gonna send one too. I'm gonna try my best.
Hey, let's get it, man. That'll be crazy, bro. Like
dope connection.
He got the vibe. Like he really does.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Shoot, Franklin Saint. Technically, he's from Oakland too, bro. So y'all got legends, man, everywhere, bro. But going from Oakland back to Atlanta, bro, you're doing great things. You have a brand manager, an entire team. How did that whole process start? Of I can't do this by myself anymore.
Yeah, that started. That started last year, like towards the end of last year. Shout out to my brand manager. She's killing it right now. We actually met on Clubhouse in 2021, I think.
That's crazy.
We met on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And so when we moved, I got a message and she was like, we out here. I was like, wait, y'all out here? She's like, yeah. So we ganged up the car, my wife and I, baby girl, and my brand manager, her husband, and everything. We all went to the Real Milk and Honey. Yeah.
That's dope.
Over there, College Park. We went over there, man.
Y'all broke bread.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, though.
Literally. Man, them biscuits was banging. But I'm staying on topic. I'm staying on topic.
Hey, you good? Hey, we just chopping it up. You good, bro.
Yeah, them honey biscuits was crazy, bro. So we was just chopping it up. We left, standing outside the spot. And she was just like, "Yeah, how's everything going?" I was like, "Yo, like, I need some help. Like, it's a lot of brands calling." And she was just like, "Well, I used to do that full time." I was like, "Seriously?" She was like, "Yeah." Like, I used to work with top brands, Nike, L'Oreal, all kinds of stuff. So I was like, "Yeah, we might need to circle back." And so she's like, "Whatever you need, just give me a shout. We'll try to make something happen." So when I started going in on YouTube, top of or end of last year, really, I started really going hard on YouTube. Like that's just like my mission for this year. So I've been doing 2 videos nonstop a week.
Wow.
And so from doing that, brands have been calling. And so I was like, "Yo, sis, like I think I need you to be on part of the team, like for real, like straight up." So I bring her on, sign everything, do our stuff. bro, I promise you, dude, I kid you not, like 8 brands hit us up.
That's crazy.
And I was like, yo, I hit her, I was like, hey, did you send anything to anybody? Did you send any emails? Or she was like, nah. Like,
Wow.
it was just the timing was impeccable.
Wow.
So that's when I knew straight up, I was like, nah, I got to bring you on the team because I need to focus on the creative side.
That's
and,
right.
You know what I mean? And let her handle all of that stuff. So she's been doing a phenomenal job.
I love that, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
dope. How do we start trusting other people? Because, man, being a creative is hard because what you do is having this dope idea and actually like visualizing it and then bringing it to life and then trying to handle the whole business part. So how do you say, okay, let me take a step back on the business part. You kind of take care of that so then I can focus on this. That requires a lot of trust. So how do we try to bridge that gap, man? Because there's so many people that are young creatives who don't know, like, how do I trust somebody?
Yeah, no, that's real, for real. I think it's like learning part of the game yourself first, like getting your feet wet first, like you doing some contracts first. And I don't recommend getting burned, but it will teach you what you will not do the next time around.
Facts.
You know, you'll learn. It's like a lesson that you will never forget.
Yeah.
But just getting your feet in the mud first and figuring out like, okay, here's the bare minimum of how to operate. And once you learn that, I think that's when you will by default appreciate the value of someone else coming in to help, because it's like, you know, what it takes day to day to talk to these brands and emails back and forth, contracts, creative briefs, and or if you're even in the industry and stuff, you know, it's like people contacting you left and right. Like eventually, I think more so when the demand is there, I think the trust will follow because you know you need some help.
Yeah.
But if you're not in that space where you really don't have too much to manage, then it's definitely easier to have a distrust perspective, because it's like, well, I don't know if you in this for you. I don't know if you in this, you know, it's like by the time you getting calls and you bring in help, they gonna make sure that you get all them gigs done because they're gonna need to get paid as well.
Facts.
So I think it's just a matter of like seeing it from someone else bringing value to you and you also bringing value to them by being able to, whether you pay them monthly or whether you do a percentage, but it's just it should be for where the both needs are, should be like a close to an equal value exchange.
For sure.
Yeah.
Imposter syndrome, right?
Oh,
When you start getting 8 brand calls and
Man.
this brand, that brand, it's like, okay, I worked for this moment in time.
Yeah.
But it's finally here. And then you start self-analyzing.
Yep.
Am I
straight
ready?
up.
So how do we fight that self-imposter syndrome?
Yeah, you got to know you're worth it. And, you know, you got to rest in everything you've done prior to get you to this point. Even if you had a fast forward process where maybe you didn't go to school for all of this stuff, but, you know, favor ain't fair, man.
Come on. Talk
You know
about
what I'm
it.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
that favor is a big thing, because I felt like my career fast forwarded like 10 years in 2 years.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, just from grinding, putting in the work, and then the favor that follows that that faithful work. So, yeah, you got to rest in that. Like, if you got the sauce and people are hitting you up for that sauce, like, you know, just keep working on the recipe. Keep your mind on, you know, that you're going right back to the gym and working it out, and you know what I'm saying? So, like, when big stuff happens, like a big brand hits me up, it's like, this is dope. But I know for a fact, come Monday, I'm shooting another 4 videos for my channel, and those videos got to be lit, on point, you know what I'm saying? And, like, really having that aim for the stars, but if we land on the moon, it's cool kind of vibe.
on.
Like,
Yeah.
I think that's, like, a good headspace to be in.
I like that. Favor ain't fair. One of my favorite sayings too, man.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
How do you try to, I don't want to say go against, but how do you embrace sometimes jealousy amongst people who see God's favor on you?
That's a good one, man. I think that by the time you get to a certain point in your maturity where you've been through some things and you've experienced life hits you. If you playing your cards right and you really are growing, man, like, you'll have a lot of grace. Because I had that, like, man, these cats, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I've had that, but then, like, In tandem with that, man, like, you know, life, bro. Like, I mean, COVID, you know what I'm saying? Like, perspective, like the whole world is shut down. We all on the even scale playing field. You know, people who are making 600,000, 500,000 a year gets laid off. You know what I'm saying? And surprisingly living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing at eye level. You know what I'm saying? So it's like perspective in life will always bring about real perspective and a different lens. You know, that's how to view things. So stay humble, keep your head focused on like what you're really doing and what your purpose is. And then the jealousy stuff, you'll find that, it's just an insecurity on their side that they need help with. And how can you bring value to them?
Yeah.
You know, how can you help? And so that's, you asked about the YouTube channel, why I'm dropping gems. That's another reason why it's like people will fight for information. And it's like, here it is for free. It's just that simple.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just change the perspective. So I think the more you give, the less jealousy you will experience from you having like a vibe of like, you know, yeah, I'm in the building. What's good?
Yeah.
Opposed to like, hey, I'm here to serve. Then it's like you really got to check that person's heart who's jealous, because it's like, well, ain't no vibes over here. Like, I'm just a help desk, open book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that helps detour the, you know, the friction and stuff.
Facts, bro. Posting up to 4 times a week, sometimes 2 times a day, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Why is it so important to have a content schedule mapped out? Because it's so many people, man. You could just tell like they throwing just spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks. But you actually have a plan, a strategy in place. Why is that so important?
I mean, that's like the sauce to growth. That's how I grew 70,000 followers in a year.
Wow.
You know, just having a system where, you know, trial and error for me, definitely at first. But then you start to see a pattern, and I'm big on patterns, like as a musician, producer. If I figure out the pattern, that's kind of it. Like, it's like figuring out the cheat code. So
sir.
the algorithm is a pattern of how people engage, what type of post it was, and for me, what type of vibe was it. So it made it very easy to stay around this sort of chill vibe lane, because this is palatable for everybody. I'm looking at the demographic of who's commenting, who's engaging, and everything, and the age and stuff. Like, I'm studying the analytics, as we say. And so it's like, okay, cool. We know actually what to do now.
Right.
And then as the platform changes, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, that might be banned.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think so, but
yeah.
yeah.
You know, you start to figure out the pattern, and then you just do your research. You know, they have, man, there's so many dope content creators that's just giving updates on the platforms, like on YouTube. And shout out to Modern Millie. She's really dope. I follow her on Instagram and YouTube, and she just gives the full debrief of the updates of the platforms, algorithm. Hey, Dominique, he's on YouTube and Instagram, and I think TikTok as well. And all they do is they just give you updates on the platform, and they're doing their research. They're following Adam Mosseri, the head of Instagram, and you know they're following these cats on Twitter, the people, the head of YouTube, the head of Twitter, and all them, Elon Musk, you know, all of that stuff. So like, they're just giving you the current events because they're doing all the hard work for you.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I just tap in with them, and it's like, all right, cool. How does that affect me on my platform and how I post and stuff like that? So believe it or not, I post once a week on Instagram.
Oh, wow.
One vibe a week.
Wow.
On Instagram.
Wow.
I figured out that algorithm in 2021. I was like, oh, I don't really need to do much.
Yeah.
Like, just spend time on the vibe. So I take my time on my vibes, y'all. Like,
Yeah. Hey, we can tell.
So,
We can tell.
like on the music side, like I take my time. Yeah.
I love that, man. AI, right? On the way up here, man, talking about music, AI. How does artificial intelligence somewhat merge with like modern day music now?
I think it's been around and hidden in plain sight. I mean, we got Output and Arcade. Shameless plug for them. They have a phenomenal engine called Arcade. I can hit one button on my keyboard and it'll give me a whole chill vibe.
That's hard.
One button and hit another button, I get a drum pattern. You know, hit another button, I get a bass line. I didn't play this stuff. So that's AI assistance, you know what I mean? Like just having loops, pre-made loops, sound packs. So I think this whole artificial conversation back and forth intelligence, I think that's like the new thing where we're being affected more so by impersonations now. I can actually rap something and change it to a Jay-Z voice and it'll actually sound like Jay-Z is rapping.
Wow.
One guy actually got demonetized on YouTube because of it. He got a copyright full strike.
Sheesh.
A whole strike.
It wasn't worth it. Yeah.
So, like, just be careful. Like, if y'all gonna flip stuff and use, you know, artist voice, just remember that their name and likeness is all under contract, all that stuff, including their voice, because that's technically them.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of fun. You know, like from a monetization standpoint, I would avoid it, but definitely like a TikTok thing, like I'd try it.
Yeah,
Like,
hey, I love TikTok. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I would try it just to see what would happen.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I feel you. So do you like TikTok more than Instagram, or how do you feel about both platforms if you had to choose?
YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Hey, come
YouTube,
on. Talk to us. Look, Aaron, like, hey, we be having these conversations all the time. Tell us why, though.
YouTube is the best of all of the worlds. Algorithm, income, opportunities, evergreen, and it's aided by Google. It is Google. Google is the number one search engine in the world.
Yeah, come on.
So, I mean, as soon as you type in anything to do with Logic Pro, I'm gonna be smiling on a thumbnail on the front page. I've done my homework on SEO, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like, it's the greatest thing to meet thousands of people by the minute that are like, "Yo, this is my first time meeting you, man." Like, and one of my top videos is how to mix vocals in Logic, and the comments are just anytime someone comes across that video, somebody's just like, "I don't know how to thank you, bro."
Wow.
I don't know how to thank you, man. Like, you literally just made this so easy, and like thousands of people are being empowered by the minute. So Instagram is more of like instant satisfaction. You post something and then you just see likes just coming across the screen.
Hearts.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's instant satisfaction. And one thing I do love about Instagram is networking. That's my spot where, like, man, even like I said, like yesterday, Genius just in the DMs, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it goes down. Like a lot of career industry stuff kind of goes down on Instagram. And I feel like YouTube, more people are trying to do branded kind of stuff over there. Or they might hire me to mix something, or they might buy a product. So, you know, it's easier to market products on YouTube than it is on Instagram. So,
products, man. How do you monetize or create products as a producer? Is it packs, sound packs, things like that? What's that whole process like?
Yeah, all the above.
Yeah.
So, it was a crazy moment. After doing one of my tutorials on YouTube, I was on the phone with my man John Mike, and I had just finished a video, and so guy was just like, say the presets and sell it. And then John said it right after I got the download. He's like, "Hey Rev, go ahead, save it and sell
It's
it."
a sign.
I was like, "Bro, did you just hear God talking or something?" Like, that's crazy. So I was on a mission I was on Squarespace at the time. And so, man, just a short story about that grind, even in itself. Like, basically, I had a website designer that built my first website, and it was done on Squarespace. And so I was able to manage it after it was built. And I got ready to do products. My designer flaked.
Wow.
Went MIA. Like, we were supposed to meet on a Monday.
That's heartbreaking.
Yo, and I'm just like, I'm trying to drive these products, bro. Like, and you out. Like, what's up? So no shade or anything like that. You know, had to do what they had to do. So it was just a push for me to learn. So I got on YouTube. I was like, how to sell products on Squarespace.
YouTube University.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I dropped my first, the first thing I dropped was a mixing template, a drum template where people could just literally just pull it up in Logic and they could like have their drums already mixed.
Nice.
So that was my first $1,000 product that month.
Wow.
Like I think I made like 1209 that month, and I was letting it go for $44.
Wow.
So that was the beginning of like, oh, so this is a thing, like passive income, like very transparent in PayPal. So
You can see it.
yeah, so I was like, yo, like, you know, but that's like, again, why I go so hard on YouTube giving away knowledge, because it's like, when you give away value, what you gonna get back?
Yeah.
You know, you give and you shall receive.
Come on.
So that's how I got into the product game. So then I couldn't host any of my bigger file products on Squarespace. So I built my own website in Shopify in a day.
Wow.
So I got all of my emails off, exported them in, and then built my own Shopify in a day. Made the announcement, and then I dropped a few more products, and then I just never looked back, man. Like, that was my hustle, like all 2020.
No middleman.
Nah, that's why my music suffered so much, because I was so tapped in on the business side, like, you know, establishing a mailing list, cultivating all of the members in there and coaching them, teaching them in the email, and, you know, really catering to this private community that's offline. So that was like a major impact of, you know, starving myself from recording because I was just in CEO mode all the time. So now, like, finding that balance of like, all right, guys, you know, I'm working on this, and, you know, I'm starting to include everybody into like, this is what's happening. Like, yo, I'm gonna be building a product. I'm gonna show you guys, you know, like how to build your own sample pack, like how to take your ideas and be able to send it to someone else and they can get value from it. So it's been a long, short hustle.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like since 2020, website went live late 2020. And it's really good for producers to have your packs, because it's more than just making money, but it's impact in your brand and you know, your signature in the music community.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
As a creative that's being tapped in, trying new sounds, new things, how do we listen to God when life can be crazy? We can be in CEO mode, dad mode, husband mode, entrepreneur mode. How do we just try to find time for God too?
Yeah, for sure. Again, so the 6 a.m. rule, that's why it's so crucial, because it's like, that's that clear time and I can hear God clearly. And if you have like a crazy relationship with God in a good way, he'll wake you up in the middle of the night with stuff.
Come on.
Because it's like your life could be so loud during the day and calls and this and that, notifications, and, you know, wake you up in the middle of the night. Like, I just got my next vlog idea in the middle of the night at like 3 a.m. God woke me up and gave me the idea. You know, so it happened with a product. God gave me the idea for the product at like 2 a.m. in the morning. So I think it's essential to just carve out that time so he don't have to bug you, you know, in the middle of the night. But if he has to, you know, it is what it is. And I think that's just a way to really do it. So that's really my time, like, especially for men. And like, I'm really big on health. I've had so many friends pass away from diabetes, lupus, cancer, blood pressure. Like, list just goes on and on, especially in the Black gospel community. So I'm really huge on health. And so, like, as I eat clean and as I'm working out, like, I can actually hear God more, because I'm in a way fasting from, you know, fast food and stuff that's like not necessarily good for the body, even though it's good for the tongue and the taste buds. But it's like, you'd be surprised of like how fasting, putting away that plate, and looking to hear from God, like, not for like you want something, but you just want to hear God's voice. Put aside the plate, you know. take time to fast and pray and get up early in the morning, and he'll speak to you, whether it's direct or whether it's through signs, confirmation. I've had people literally say the same thing, like word for word. None of them knew each other, and I'm like,
Wow.
no coincidence. So I think like just carving out time for sure.
That's beautiful, bro. New wave, man. I was bumping it, bro. We was setting up in the
Let's
studio.
go.
Bro, if I get the name wrong, forgive me, but it was fire. I think it was Putting In Work.
Yeah, that's it.
Bro, crazy.
I appreciate it,
Bro,
man.
talk to me, man. Like, just creating the entire album, the vibe. That was my favorite song, though, bro.
Hey, let's get it.
I played it back. Sid, she could tell you like 4 times. I was like, yo, this the one right here.
Let's go,
Yes, sir.
man. So, I mean, New Wave was definitely in the process since 2021-ish. 2020. I started, what song came first? Keep Dreaming was actually first, because I did that in my 1-bedroom apartment with my wife.
Wow.
Yeah, I did that on my
That's
laptop.
the perfect title, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the first joint. So that was definitely 2021 because that's where we were there. So those were the older songs. And then I had a few come like, throughout the years and stuff. But I think that the crazy part was I had got in 2022, like early 2022, I had about 6 songs done. And I couldn't finish it. I just couldn't finish the record. I knew I wanted to, but I just couldn't. And I had no idea we were going to be moving out here. And I had no idea the songs were going to go viral. So, I didn't even find my real, like I would say, like my new sound that I'm really branding. Like I didn't have it yet. So I knew it was time when enough life had happened. Like enough life had happened. Like my grandma, bless her, she passed in December of 2022.
Sorry about that.
Appreciate it,
Yes,
man.
sir.
So went back down to the Bay to see her off, and the same day Jazzy Jeff was spinning one of my songs on his show. And I was just like, this is wild, bro. And when life hits you like that, it's like, okay, perspective.
Yeah.
So it's like now I got like new motivation to finish this record, because it's like I remember playing my early beats for my grandma like as a kid, and my early records and songs and stuff, and she really enjoyed it even though it was bad.
Yeah. She was rocking with it.
She was rocking with it, you know what I'm saying? So, it was just so much perspective, and I was just like, all right, like, we need to finish this. And then some stuff just happened organically. So, like, the J Moss collab, that you can't plan for that. Like, it just happened, and I literally mean that. But basically, I did a joint with the Pocket Queen. We did an instrumental called Latin Chill Vibes. And so,
Yeah, heard that one. Cold.
I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
So that joint, like, I mean, it's a Pocket Queen, so I wasn't surprised, but I was surprised that it did what it did, or it hit the way that it did. So people just love that tune. Jay Moss saw the tune, and he was like, yo, I'm on it. And I was like, what? Like, you Jay Moss, man. Like, all right. And so he was serious. So he actually recorded a whole, like, he literally did stacks, overdubs, BGVs, ad-libs, shot his own content, edited it, and I'm like, bro, like, this is a body of work. Like, you took time to do this, bro.
Crazy.
And like everybody just went crazy. It was like, what is this? This is like, we've been missing this. So I was like, yo. So I hit him up, talked to the team. I was like, yo, it's got to be on that album, bro. Like, so imagine if I had finished the album like before its time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would have never happened.
It's God's timing.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, everything is, like, so strategic with
sir.
God. You know what I mean? So that's why I couldn't finish it, because, like, certain things just never happened. So, but putting in work, that was in 2021 when I did that. It was my boy Brandon P. Shout out to my guy.
Bro.
Yeah, he's Sacramento, California. I claim him as the Bay. I mean, he only worked with E40.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
look, nothing serious.
So,
Nothing serious.
you know, just light work. You know what I'm saying? So nah, Brandon P, that's his vibe. Like when I did it, I was like, nah, that's a Brandon P track.
Yeah.
Hands down. Like people think that he produced it. And that's kind of what I want them to think.
Right.
You know, that's something he would literally do. So it was enough for him to hop on it and just bring that Sacramento Bay Area swag. So shout out to my man Brandon P, man. Like he was so instrumental in that song. Like he recorded everything himself, his vocals and everything. His vocals sounded so good. I was like, hey, can you just send me just the way you got it? Just I don't want to mix it. Like just send it.
Yeah.
He was like, you want the gang vocals? I was like, just how you had it. Just you know what I mean? So so that came together like real smooth. So that was actually a part of the 6 songs that were done.
Wow.
In 21.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough, bro. Yaahn, man, you've been so gracious, bro. Man, thank you for giving us so much free game. You didn't have to, but again, you did, bro. Thank you. On the way out, very last question. Where do you see yourself as a man? New Wave 2.0 as well. Everything within the next 5 to 10 years.
Man, next 5 to 10, just going hard. I would honestly say the next 2 years, just putting in the grind work. Just, I mean, going all in. The wife already knows what time it is. You know what I mean? Just let me work and do what I do. So these next 2 years, we just going to be going for it, man. Like, and then after that, it's going to be time to see the fruits of the labor, man. Like, I consider the stuff that I'm doing now as assets, just building my asset column from stream money, YouTube AdSense products. You know, just keep building it up to where once we hit a new baseline, man, like the sky's the limit, and I could be more present as a father, as a husband, have more intimate time, and you know, because I don't physically have to be, you know, doing as much. So really just you know, retiring from the major grind and kind of retiring to, you know, coaching, you know, more podcasts, more appearances, just getting out the house and we're just sharing the value externally, like tangibly externally. So I think that's like what the next phase is for me, because the grind season is just about up. Like God has been blessing.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And now it's time to work smart, not hard after that point. But yeah, man, just trying to make an impact in the community.
That's it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yesterday's price, not today's price. I feel you. New Wave 2.0, is that coming? When can we expect that? Anything?
Man, 2.0. So, I mean, spoiler alert. So the next beat tape is dropping.
I got it here, baby.
Yeah, the next beat tape is dropping. So we're going back to the rugged tape vibes. It's that season again, literally. Summertime, that's just when people ready to vibe, bro. You know,
outside in the park, you chilling.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And the tape is all summer, just summer bangers. You know what I mean? And so we got a couple of prospects on the tape. So this time the tape is not just gonna be just instrumentals, but it's actually gonna be like features and vocalists and stuff. So it's gonna be a mixture of like, you know, the beats, and then we're gonna have some vocalists and a couple of remixes might pop up. So we got a joint that's going crazy right now. It's called Hip Hop Delight. It's going viral on Instagram.
I gotta tap in with that one.
Yeah, bro. Like, ooh, I want to drop some names, but it's good.
Hey, you good? You good.
A couple of cats like hit me up about it, and they're like, when is this dropping? I'm like, yo, it's going on the tape. It's going on the tape, man. So it's that trend again. It's that season. I had this conversation with the brand manager, like around this time of year, the vibes start getting amplified. Because, you know, it just matches the season, I guess. So, yeah, expect the tape. I don't have a drop date for you guys, but it's coming though. And if you guys have been following my sequence, you know I drop stuff around the summertime. So it's coming soon.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Y'all, Yaahn Hunter, you already know that's Hunter. Anytime that you guys hear that, it's a banger coming, man. Bro, we appreciate you. God, he's not through with you, man. You are doing amazing work, and it's just the beginning, bro. So, man, we appreciate you greatly, for real.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Much love. Yaahn Hunter, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to the entire team. Sid, Aaron, thank y'all, man, again, for always tapping in. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, follow Yaahn on all platforms as well. His YouTube channel too. Again, blessed be your host, Caleb Smith. Until next time, peace.